clue what I was on about. Theatre work, not for me, no. Anyone sat in a pit band or seen a musical show? That was a question, but right, cool. What did you go and see? Or sit in the band? Yeah.
Yeah, I was in the band for a couple of shows in my old school.
Sweet. So you've had that pit band experience?
Yeah.
What did you think of it? I don't care if you like it or not.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
it was great.
Cool, that's cool. Who else had their hand up? Come on, I'm going to pick on you. Yeah.
I've played bass at a few different shows. I've also seen a couple of theatre shows.
Nice, great. So we've got a little experience. I had no experience at all. Even at uni, I went to sit in one of my other drummer mates at uni. They do shows at the university for like the dance courses and all that. And I sat in the pit with him and I thought, oh, that was so boring. I'll never get those 2 hours back of my life. I hated it. The pros to theatre work, as some of you may know. So when you're a self-employed musician, everything can just disappear. If you don't have eggs in different baskets, one day you literally will have no money. You could have no money. It might go on for ages, right? But even when you're like a session musician, right? So I was looking at E-Panda. Do you follow E-Panda? He's Bruno Mars's cousin, who's actually Bruno Mars's drummer. And he's amazing. They look alike, it's kind of weird. But he does world tours, and then he's got nothing to do. So like even world tours come to an end. When you're a session musician, your gigs aren't lined up, and you're very, very lucky. Well, it's impossible. You'll have like maybe a year or two where they're all lined up, and they fall really nicely, so you go from one job to the next, and you completely tread in over your rent, like, ha, landlord, I've messed you up, I'm a full-time musician. And then one day you miss the step because your gig's fallen through, and you go, landlord, I'm really, really sorry. I've got no money. Okay, so the benefit for theatre work is solid contracts. Even if they fall through, you get to the Musicians Union. If you're not a member of the Musicians Union, sign up straight away, because they have lawyers who are like Hulk Hogan. They will smash through walls and get you your money for free. It's amazing. So if solid contracts fall through, you get the money. Solid income. I love the word solid. I don't know what I was thinking. Same time, same place. It's quite nice because you can actually have a little bit of a life. Because you guys have probably gigged and done stuff where, gigs might pop up. So, prime example, like you'll have like a friend's birthday party, and then someone says, "Can you do this gig? It's 250 quid for an hour." And you go, "I would love to be there for your birthday, but I've got to earn enough money to nearly pay most of my rent in one night." So things come up. It's really nice because you actually get to build a life around theatre work, and it's the same music. So you don't have to learn so much music. So actually, instead of the rehearsal time you normally use in the day, you got that time to eat pizza and play ping pong or something, right? So the shows also can come back. So if the shows come back to the theatre or go on a world tour, because you're on that show first, unless you were an absolute arsehole, you're going to be asked back and do the show. So it's actually work more and more and more, okay? So, do I have to read dots? Is it boring music every night? That depends on the show. Not every pit show, every theatre show, muso actor stuff is great. I've been very fortunate, and I've actually done a little bit of theatre work. So it gets to my experience. Is there any questions? I don't know how boring this is for you. Is this okay, or are you really struggling?
It's great.
Cool. Thanks, Nick. Number one fan. Thanks, mate. So, session work is not consistent. So even world tours end. Any function players in the house? So there's a few people that play in bands. Would you be happy, show of hands, how many of you would be happy to earn a living through playing music? However, you play weddings full time. So you're in a function band, you're in a wedding, that's not a bad thing. Yeah? So you graduate, you move here, and you are playing, you're playing weddings. So you'd be happy, because you're earning full-time musician, so you probably work maybe Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, and then you do anything you want in the week. You can have another job or whatever. So that's a good goal, right? That's a really nice goal. That's great. Everybody does that. The people who do world tours will come off the world tour and not have a job lined up, so they get in wedding bands and they play. If you do that, you are a professional musician. There is no doubt about that. Okay, you are earning money to keep a roof over your head and food on the table by playing your instrument. You are a professional musician. Opportunities come, that wow you, right? Like the China Crisis gig, and I'm about to show you another tour or something that I did. But in between all of these really fancy things that look great on a presentation, I was playing weddings for about 250 quid a night, and I had 3 a week for about 10 weeks. You do the maths. I was comfortable. You earn good money. You play music. There's nothing about being a function musician, playing in a pub, or playing any gigs that aren't big stadiums. None of that is embarrassing. That's fucking cool. And that's the real musicians, okay? Because you get highs and lows in your career. If that is your comfortable low, going out and earning 250 quid a night or 200 quid playing your instrument, you've made it, mate. Alright? So just remember that, because when you go to uni, there's going to be Barry Big Balls, he's probably going to look just like me, talking like me, telling you how cool these gigs are, but he probably won't have any money. So if you do that, you'll probably want to step up. And that's the one thing that I've done that I'm so glad I did. All my mates that we play in wedding bands together, I am in charge of the wedding band, so if I've got a gig, something else that I feel I need to do, I dep it out to somebody else, to all my other mates. And then when I'm back, I get the gig. And that's something you think about. Even if you have the number 1 drum seat or the 1 guitar seat, you can give it to your mate and come back. Do we all know what a dep is? No. Cool. A dep, right? It's like a deputy. So, say well, first of all, when I said I depped for China Crisis, I broke my hand right now, and I had a gig, or I had a gig next week. I can't do it. I would find another drummer to do the gig for me. That drummer, it isn't their gig for life. They have not taken over the band. They are a dep. They're popping in, they're doing the job, and then when I'm back to fitness, it's my job again, okay? So it's like a super sub, yeah? It's like a football sub. I started at right mid, I've got injured, he's coming in. But when I'm fit again, I'm going to be first choice, yeah? That's exactly how it works. Quick tip, if you have a dep, and you haven't using people doing your job, make sure it's somebody you trust and they're not a snake. Because I've been snaked out of gigs by people who've talked shit and had bad things. When you're a friend and you're a nice person in the music industry and you're trustworthy, you will get a gig 100 times more than somebody who's a bit shady because they want to prove themselves. Don't try and have a cock-off with everybody else who's playing your instrument. Sorry ladies for the term. Don't have I'm not going to say the woman version. But yeah, don't have a competition for somebody who's playing your instrument. Be their mate, because when you're mates, when he can't do gigs or she can't do gigs, you can do that. And then when you can't, you've got a dep. Even though a dep doesn't sound like a great gig, I've got great mates who are my deps and I'm their dep. If I had a gig tonight and I was meant to be doing this, if I couldn't provide a drummer for my gig, I would lose the gig. So I need a dep. I need 4 good deps. They need 4 good deps, okay? So don't ever think of, he's my arch nemesis, he plays the drums as well, I'm gonna kill him. No. We like friends, we like that, okay? Because when it comes to the professional world, you need a mate who can cover you, okay? Because people get ill, family members die, family members get married and stuff, alright? I'm sorry, it's life. So you need a good dep. Right, so I've done this, wedding season, earned money, I've graduated, I've done my show, I've done the China Crisis gig, I played twice, I've made it, I'm a professional session drummer. Why haven't they called back? It's because their drummer's back and I was just a dep. Oh, how am I going to earn money? Because it's not my gig. Oh, play weddings, corporates, pubs, clubs. I earned really good money, it's really nice, we spoke about that. It's September, wedding season is over. I still currently hate theatre shows and I don't want to be an electric drummer because they suck. Alex Smith calls. Alex Smith is a bass player and trumpet player who I played with about 3 times during uni. It was very random. About a dude called Howard Gray. Now, sometimes it's good just to do you. So, like I said about going to uni and different things like that. Shit, this time's going, sorry. When I talk about just doing you, when you just do you, and people say, oh, you should try a bit this, try a bit of that, take it with a pinch of salt, but make sure you're comfortable doing it, right? Because when this guy called me up, do you know what Howard Gray asked for? Howard Gray asked, he said, I need a drummer for this theatre show. I want Animal. Is it from the Muppets? Yeah. You know, the stupid guy who beats the shit out of the drum kit. I want Animal, right? Now, I haven't heard many people in a theatre want Animal, okay? But this guy wanted Animal, so I sent him a few video clips. And then we went for a meeting, and we met in a coffee shop near the theatre. We spoke for about 20 minutes, and he went, "Welcome to the team." I was like, "What do you mean the team?" He's like, "I've got a 10-week contract here worth £5,500. We're going to be on stage, we're going to play 48 shows, and you're going to be in costume, you're going to be a little character in the show." I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. There's acting as well. Yeah, but you need to act as a drummer, so you can do that. If I'd have said no, because I didn't want to do the acting, I would have lost out on 4 years worth of work, for 4 shows. So you do the maths if it's £5,500 minimum a show. Okay? So I said yes, thinking, yeah, it'll be fine. In my head thinking, shit, I've never done acting really. This is a new thing. I've said yes, I'm going to sign the contract because then at least I get the money, and if I'm a dick, well, tough stuff. And it was great. That was my view. It was really cool. I got to play 48 shows first year. I thought I did a good job. And then, cut a long story short, I've just finished the show. That was The View from the 80th anniversary. So that Royal Court Theatre in Liverpool, they did an 80th anniversary show, 80 years since the theatre had been developed, and it was with the best actors and best musicians in the year. And Howard Gray, who's been the musical director for 10 years there, rang me up and said, "I want you to be the drummer for the whole show." And it was an amazing experience, and I was very, very lucky to be there. And it was really blessing after 80 years, the amount of musicians that they had there, they wanted me in the band, it was amazing. And I've just finished a show, literally last Saturday, which I'm going to show you a really silly clip in like about 10 minutes because I've got to hurry up. Shall I finish on the hour?
No, you're fine, carry on.
Yeah? I don't know if they feel this way, but as long as you're having a good time. So that was all because Alex Smith, who's a good lad, I gigged with him 3 times, obviously wasn't a dick to him, can't really remember the gigs I did, generally can't. He was like, "Animal, yeah, Greg Joy, good guy, reliable, always turn out for rehearsal." If we had any, I can't even remember, because it was in my 3rd year uni when I was doing everything. And I've earned a living enough to go away, to do stuff, all from music. And because I've got that job, other jobs come in because they think, well, he's at that level, so he can do that. Even though it was a complete wild card when I got that. So that's what I'm trying to say. When you get offered jobs, you need to say yes, because you don't know where it's going to go. In the worst case scenario, you can say, "Sorry, it's not for me." You see it out, and then you've had enough, you can walk away respectfully, because it might come around again. And I think that was the thing, where when I was sat in your seat, if somebody had told me this then, I needed that when I was in your seat. Okay, I'm not saying you need this, but for me, little Greg sat there would have been like, fuck, it makes sense now, you know, because you're seeing where I've come from 13 years old to here, not just, "Hi, I've done this," right? So I did the show, did the acting, and there was an acting agent in the crowd one night, and I went to the bar after, because it's what you do, you go to the bar, and this woman approached me and she said, "I really liked what you're doing, who's your agent?" I went, "Agent?" Like, my drummer, like singers get agents and film stars, look, a drummer needs an agent. She went, I'd like to come for a meeting." She just gave me this card and was like, "Give me an email, we'll arrange a meeting." And I was like, she's like, "I'm not going to talk to you now, I've had a few glasses of wine." I was like, classic. You know, next thing you know, she's going to tell me her son's a drummer and she wants me to teach him, or something stupid like, "My husband's a film star." I don't care, alright? I just thought, this is classic. I gave her an email, actually went home. I had a girlfriend at the time who was an actress. This did not go down well, for the record. I had a girlfriend at the time who was an actress, and I went in and I went, this woman asked me to email her. She was like, "That's Nicola Bolton from Regent Management." I went, "Right, okay." She went, "That's the person that I want to be my ex-girlfriend was it's so funny that I bring her up, was an actress from LIPA. She went, "That's the acting agent that my whole year group wants. We've auditioned for her, she didn't let us in." Sorry, babe. I didn't really know what that meant. I went, "Oh, it's only a meeting." If she's asked you for a meeting, that means she wants to sign you. 1 minute done. Yes! I'm really sorry, really sorry. as you can tell, I did call her my ex-girlfriend. Didn't quite work out. My next point is say, if people try and hold you back, fuck them. Anyway, so I'm much happier now anyway, because I've got an agent, and it was really cool, and signed with an agent, and that was that. And if you're with somebody that's trying to hold you back in your professional capability and doesn't trust you and isn't proud, not trust you as in like that, I mean trust you as in like, trust you're making the right decisions for yourself career-wise, you still do you. If you come to college and wasted all these years here, and then you go to university and you work your ass off, who are they to tell you what you can or cannot do? You have earned to make your own decision, okay? So this is just a side note, this wasn't meant to be in this presentation, but do not let anybody else tell you what you can or cannot do. If I listened to my tutor who isn't here anymore, I wouldn't be at LIPA, okay? And I'm not trying to do this all inspirational talk and like blow smoke up your arsehole and tell you you're amazing, but think about it. You work this hard, you work hard doing stuff, don't let people tell you what to do. So I signed an agent, it was really cool. Then, Andreas Oxholm, he is one of my best mates, another one. He played with G1, he was an amazing bass player, he's from Norway, and he was the guy who we had like sessions. You know, like if you're a drummer and a bassist, you might like hook up and just have jams and just lock in times and tempos, and you had like very familiar ground because you're the rhythm section. He was that dude. He started playing for a guy called Sam Volo, and that come from LIPA because they were asking for a bassist. And this is really important, so I will. So Sam was signed to Universal, and Andreas was like, can you dep? Once again, this dep. The drummer was unavailable, it was his girlfriend's birthday or something, they were going to Portugal, and the show would come up. It was a London headline showcase. It was full of industry, it was in Islington, and I've never seen so many middle-aged people in suits at a gig. It was weird. It's like going to the O2 Academy and then walking into like a film of like lawyers. Do you know what I mean? It just felt very uncomfortable. It wasn't an applaud, it was one of those like... You finish, you're rocking your ass off, and you finish, and it's literally like... Taken up, very